Hey guys, just finished watching Arrow, Season 7, Episode 5, The Demon. So this episode was quite interesting. It was a fun episode. Now, it doesn't really move on the whole storyline of this season, dealing with Diaz. We get very little bit of that at the end of the episode. They pretty much kind of put a pause on it with the whole tracker thing for Silencer and stuff. It's like, oh, can't get the tracker turned off, we've got to reboot it, and it takes the whole episode to reboot it, which is kind of weird. But then we get, then we deal with mostly in this episode with Oliver in prison. And I kind of like dealing with things like that. Like, it's not really a filler episode because we're dealing with Oliver in prison and stuff. And I kind of like how we're kind of moving on things on like that. So I like the way they're doing this. It doesn't feel like a villain of the week episode or a filler episode and like that. Even though it kind of is and stuff, but it doesn't have the negativity or the kind of bad taste in your mouth, from a filler episode or a villain of the week episode. Sometimes those can be okay when they're, when you got this huge celebrity guests, things like that. Those can be really fun. But then, sometimes it could be really, this one, like this, it's kind of not too bad type thing. So we see Oliver in this, the beginning of the episode. He gets kind of a new bracelet on him so they can kind of control him in level 2 and stuff, which is kind of weird why it's a bracelet and not a necklace type thing. Why it wouldn't go around the neck to be, if there's going to be electricity, more nerves and stuff in your neck and stuff, and it's right there to shock you towards your brain, right? But we find out that Talia is the demon that everyone's been talking about, that Oliver's been looking for, which is kind of cool with that, but it kind of got me thinking, where is she from? There's no females up in level 1, and they really don't have co-ed prisons and stuff. So was she transported? Did they transport all these females in? There are a few other ones you see in the background and stuff, but do they transform all these? Do these people get sent in? These females get sent in from a different prison, and why were they sent in? Don't they have like a level 2 on the female end, or of a different version? It's like the same building doesn't have male and females, and it just doesn't make sense as to where that happens. But whatever, I didn't think about that one too much. We see Stanley later on in the episode. He's kind of like talking to Felicity, tells Felicity that Oliver's sent to level 2, and that's when she starts to kind of look into it and to see as to where, or looking into level 2. We see Curtis and Diggle have a whole storyline with starting to stop some criminals getting some bombs and stuff, some dirty bombs, and he's kind of not liking being out in the field and stuff ever since Oliver's been in prison and stuff. Doesn't want to really risk himself for that, and I think that's kind of an interesting storyline to play with. Does he get back to with his ex fiance? I think probably not and stuff, but doesn't look like it. But I think it's gonna be cool to kind of play with that, especially whenever Oliver gets out of prison, as to where things are gonna go with all that. We see level 2. Felicity finds out that level 2 is off the books and all that stuff, and then Oliver and Talia kind of work together to kind of discredit level 2 and stuff, and to stop all these prisoners from dying. And Felicity finds out that the prisoners are being mind wiped and stuff, and I think that's kind of cool there, and some of them are actually dying. But Oliver won't leave the prison when Talia does. He doesn't want to be a fugitive and stuff, and put Felicity and William into that position. I think that's a great idea with there. And we see Oliver kind of get sent back to level 1 when Felicity discredits and takes down and reveals to the public that whatever's going on in level 2, and everyone gets discredited. And we even see Talia. She ends up killing she ends up killing at the end of the episode the therapist and stuff, which is going to be cool to see as to kind of where things go with that, because then at the end of the episode we see Black Siren ends up revealing that they can use the USB drive that Oliver sent to Felicity via Talia. That they can use that to get Oliver out of prison. So I think that's going to be cool to see as to kind of where things go with that. I just think it's a bit early to kind of, have him out of prison. That was the whole kind of end credit, and that was the cliffhanger for last season, and you're going to only have 5 or 6 episodes. Like, that's kind of a bit silly to me. So hopefully this can be the first piece of the first little step towards there. And I think that could be of the long journey to getting him out of prison. I think that could be the way to do it, and I think that could be kind of a better way, and have him out just in time for the crossover or maybe have a way to take him out for the crossover and put him back in after the crossover and save it for the whole season. But with this crossover, you probably want him out of prison before that. So I think it's going to be cool to see where things go with that. We also see at the end of the episode, all we see is Diaz is kind of him attacking Anatoly and taking down all of his crew, and then he's, it looks like he's killing Anatoly, but we'll have to wait and see as to if he actually kills him off. I mean, they've had this guy back so many times. I doubt that they were actually going to kill him off and stuff, but we'll have to wait and see as to kind of where things go with this. So far, I kind of like this episode. Like I said, it was kind of a filler episode, but not too bad of a filler episode. Not a really awesome filler episode. Like, I wouldn't show that, like, some filler episodes like this, like, when you have Mark Hamill on The Flash as Trickster and stuff, those are fun episodes to watch. I would show that to a DC fan, casual DC fan who's not following the show at all, but it was just a casual DC fan, casual Mark Hamill fan and stuff. It's like, here you go. This is just a good episode to watch on its own, right? You don't need to know the season if you just want to watch 1 or 2 episodes, and I think this is not really kind of obviously one of them, but it's kind of a fun episode. It's kind of an okay episode and definitely an interesting episode, and I didn't mind it. I'm going to give this episode like a 6.5, 7 type thing. It was kind of a, okay, fun episode, but I can't wait to see kind of where things kind of moved on here, and I don't mind this type of filler episode because it wasn't too fillery, type thing, but it's still kind of dealing with Oliver in prison and stuff. So hopefully we get to play with him a little bit more in prison, as to see as to where things go with all that, and kind of how he kind of slowly gets out of prison. It's going to be fun to see that there. So all in all, I can't wait to see as to where things go with this. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 7, Episode 5, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.